Happy Wednesday to you all. I hope all is well. Hope you're blessed, highly favored, in the comfort of your home. If you're with family, that's great. If you're in the house by yourself, that's great. If you're in the house with your spouse or your partner, that's fine. I know everybody's trying to digress. Everybody's trying to process of what we have witnessed as a country for those who live in the United States, for those who are watching us around the world. I know you sympathize with us, and I know what you watched wasn't what you thought about the United States. And how can I say this? Because our democracy is definitely in darkness. But there's no other words to say this. There's really no other words to say, but the assault on our democracy was real. It was definitely real. It was nothing like I saw in my lifetime, in my 34, almost 35 years of life. I had a hard time focusing for the last couple of days, but today was just... Today started off okay. And then this stuff happened. With the electoral votes. The certifying of the electoral votes. I knew there was going to be some crap, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. Which turned into a all-night thing. Which is going to linger into tomorrow. Because you still have some senators who believe that the election was rigged. Truth is, the election was not rigged. This election in 2020 was safe and secure. It was the most successful election that we had in a very long time. Some historians say in over 100 years, over a century. The director of the cyber election security, I forgot what the title was, said this was the most safest and secure election. There was no Russian hacking. There was no hacking from Iran or from China. This election was safe and secured. Hello. So I don't understand on January 6th that we're still having this goddamn conversation about the election. Joseph Robinette Biden is the president-elect. Kamala Devi Harris is the vice president-elect. On January 20th, one way or another, they will be inaugurated on January 20th. 2 weeks from today. Donald John Trump will be out of that office by 12:01 on Wednesday, January 20th. He will be down in Palm Springs. Then he has to come back to New York to face my AG and the Manhattan District Attorney and possibly the U.S. Attorney. So I don't understand why GOP members of the House and the Senate keep up with this bullshit. Starting with Louis Gohmert, who tried to sue the outgoing vice president, which he ain't no savior neither, but you're suing him because he's not going to turn over the election results. That's illegal. You got Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan, one of the newest members in Congress, Madison Cawthorn, and Marjorie Brown, whatever her name is, the QAnon lady. That's what I call her. Objecting this election results. And then in the Senate, you have, of course, Rafael Edward Cruz, also known as Ted Cruz, and Joshua David Hawley, also known as Josh Hawley. Amongst, in their ilk, Marsha Blackburn, James Langford, Ron Johnson, not Portman, Johnson. Let's see who else you have. You have a Congresswoman-elect who just came there. Another Congressman-elect who just got there objecting. You got a good handful. Yes, Joseph, I saw the news. But getting back to the two main clowns, treasonous, criminals in the Senate, besides their leader, who is in the White House currently right now, who has only less than 2 weeks to get out of there, Rafael Edward Cruz. Rafael, 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago, is the reason why the government shut down under President Obama. The same Rafael Cruz who competed in the 2016 Republican presidential primaries, who was insulted by the current occupant of the White House, then candidate Donald Trump. Insulted badly to the point where he attacked his wife and called her ugly. Rafael Edward Cruz got behind Donald John Trump. And when Donald John Trump was elected, Washer said the election he stole, because he stole that election, and that election was actually rigged. He complained that Democrats are in their feelings and they're mad because Hillary Clinton lost. Yeah, we were mad when Hillary Clinton was lost. That election was stolen from her. But did we have riots? We protested, but we didn't berate the place and tear down decor in the US Capitol. We were mad. But we took our protests peacefully in the streets. We did not bring guns. All we brought was signs. The next day after the White House occupants inauguration, which was like 2 people, there was a peaceful women's march protest. Peaceful protest on the left. Even though there was some people on the right at our peaceful protest too. Staying low. So we're 4 years later. And the tables has turned. Joseph Robinette Biden is the president-elect. As I said from before, Kamala Devi Harris is the vice president-elect. They won overwhelmingly, 81 million votes, and they won the Electoral College. Not by a landslide, they won by 306. And yet, the GOP, which is not even the traditional GOP, they're the party of extremism and white supremacy. Can't accept it. They don't believe it. They believe the election was rigged. They believe there was fraudulent ballots. Voter fraud? No. Trump's own election cybersecurity official person, the director, said this was the most safest election. And it was. I didn't get no crazy calls on my cell phone. You know, I didn't have nobody watching over my vote. You know, no machines was fucking with my vote. So, I don't understand. But the fact and the point that I'm making, that Donald Trump told these same individuals that trespassed, and I'm using the word trespass, our capital, the U.S. Capitol, where our congressional representation serves, including the Senate, told him to stand back and stand by nearly 4 months ago. And he said if he doesn't win re-election, he will not know how to accept that loss. I don't expect him to concede because I know Donald Trump has always been a messed up person. I grew up in New York City. I know this firsthand. But the simple fact is that he has emboldened these white supremacists, these domestic terrorists, is just absolutely criminal. People say he needs to be impeached, he needs to be removed. He needs to be arrested. Along with Rafael Edward Cruz and Joshua David Harley. Why, Shantae? Why arrest Joshua David Harley? Oh, because Joshua David Harley was the first U.S. sitting senator, the youngest at that, who looks like he could be Ted Cruz's age. Openly said he will object to this certification of the votes for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Got on Fox News with Bret Baier and thought Bret Baier was going to agree with you, but schooled you on how our democracy works. Keep in mind, Josh Hawley went to, I guess, Harvard or Yale. He went to an Ivy League. You would have thought he would have had some kind of sense, but he has none. Yep, Donald Trump lost about 64, actually I think it's 66 cases. Based on these dubious claims of voter fraud. You have Republican commentators trying to spin, saying that, oh, he has the right to. No, he doesn't. Donald Trump lost fair and square. He lost. He needs to take the L. And as I said, he needs to come to reality. And no matter what, it's over. The grandstanding, the attempts, the desperations, it's over. It's done. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And as for Rafael Cruz, you should resign and be arrested and never to ever serve in any political position on a federal or local level ever again. And the same for Joshua David Harley. Because what Joshua David Harley did, and after the event, you still got on the Senate floor and still spout the same old BS that you've been talking for the last, I don't know how many weeks. your colleagues, your fellow colleagues in the GOP and on the Democratic side had to shelter in place because of your action, because of your objection and your hatred. I don't understand how you can hate someone that don't even know you. Joe Biden don't even know who Josh Hawley is. But Josh Hawley knows Kamala Harris. They served on the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. I'm not understanding. What's the problem? She never did anything to you. And, oh, well, all people that voted for Trump is not bad. Yes, they are. Hillary Clinton warned us about it, whether you liked her or not. If Donald Trump does not win, and she said that he will not know how to take the loss. And this proves it right here. All of this. I had to take a leave because I had a headache watching this stuff all day. It was hard to concentrate at work on my computer. It was hard. Because I believe it or not, I don't like some of these politicians, but I believe in democracy. I believe in a free democratic institution because other countries really don't have that. They don't have a choice. But the simple fact is, this act, this person provoking this kind of act, two of them sit in the Senate and one sits in the White House. There was no statement to condone the act of violence. None. I mean, the Republican Party was always a piece of poop since I was born because of Reagan conservatism. Because I was a baby during the Reagan years. But they progressed to worse. And this here is far by the worst. Tea Party, now QAnon. There's no conservative no more. That has died. And for those who define themselves as conservatives, have left the party or decide they will never serve in public office ever again. And yeah, those 45 supporters, they're not good people. I'm sorry. Those 73 million people that Josh Hawley cares so much about, that he's fighting for them, they're not good people. They're racists and enablers of racists. So when the Senate actually gets their new two senators that was elected last night from Georgia, both Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff, Mitch McConnell's going to be in trouble, along with the people in his caucus who started this whole shit. Because the soon-to-be majority leader, because he is going to be the majority leader, one way or another, Charles Schumer, also known as Chuck Schumer, who is my senator, may start investigations on the GOP senators who were co-conspirators of this. There's a picture of Josh Hawley outside with his fist. And even worse, Capitol Police taking selfies with these domestic terrorists. They should be investigated and arrested too. No, arrested then investigated too. Because that was criminal. You were a part of that ordeal, and you're taking selfies with them. And you let them come in with their guns. And weapons and knives. Yeah, so much for protecting people. But back to my senator. He is going to be the majority leader, one way or another. Oh, absolutely, I agree. We cannot trust the Capitol. Yeah. You can't. Yeah, the 13 arrests, that's insane. But getting back to my senator, because I was reading some of y'all comments. Chuck Schumer, will be the majority leader. Everybody's advocating for Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Let's just break this down. Bernie Sanders caucused with the Democrats, but he is not a Democrat. He's an independent, and he refuses to be a Democrat, which I have no problem, but it is what it is. And Elizabeth Warren is the Democrat caucus leader, so she's already in Senate leadership with Mark Warner, because they do that position together. So she's already in she already kind of got like a high-ranking position in the Senate. Her and I think Pat Murray, I believe, and Dick Durbin. So they already that's already Senate leadership already. Well, majority Senate leadership. So all of those folks advocating for Elizabeth Warren, I'm like, she's already in Senate leadership, so it makes no sense why she would be the majority leader, but whatever. But for her supporters on Twitter, because the ones with the big profiles, the blue checks, or the soon-to-be blue checks, whatever they want to call themselves, pipe down. Humble yourselves. Give black women their credit where credit is due. Stop taking credit for what black women do. Because what black women have done yesterday, they showed up, they did the work, the hard work on the ground, 24/7, to make sure to deliver the Senate majority for the United States of America. It was not white progressives. No, it wasn't. It was black women. It was LaTosha Brown of Black Voters Matter, Stacey Abrams of Fair Fight, and a former gubernatorial candidate in 2018 for Georgia. It was no Andrew Yang. And it wasn't no Bernard Sanders. And I'm going to say this, and I have said this video for the last time. Bernard Sanders did not author or draft the bill for Americans to get $2,000. That was Senator Kamala Devi Harris. Then Senator, now Vice President-elect Kamala Devi Harris. So I would like for the progressive ilk of the Bernie Sanders clique to stop touting that lie. And you know who you are. But other than that, let's be vigilant and let's stay calm. Everything will hopefully be okay. Because we are living in these last and evil days. So please be safe and take care.